see a better one in there, ask it.
What are some ways you can show intimacy other than having sex?
Oh, that is such a good question. For myself, doing little things. So, writing love notes, or just
Like with a pen and paper or like
like a
through
pen and
text?
paper. Yeah,
Oh.
just a pen and paper, like on a post-it note, and just sticking it to the coffee maker, or to leaving it on the mirror in the bathroom. Whenever if you leave before your partner gets up or something like that. Another word for me is like cuddling. Like I love
Oh.
cuddling and snuggling in. I really like that. Other ways to show intimacy. It seems crazy, but or not as important, but maybe like doing little things that your partner needs. Um, so like for Christopher, like he hates bright lights, and
Hmm.
so our bedroom light is super bright. So in the evening when I get home, I know when we come down because we have like blackout curtains, it's gonna be like really dark in our bedroom. So I turn on like his nightstand light or lamp, which is like a dim
Oh.
bulb, and then this way when he goes in the bedroom, he doesn't have to turn on the bright lights. Like for me, that's like a little way to show that I know that this is important for you. It's something you don't have to worry about, but I'll just go ahead and do that for you. Yeah.
That's cute. I
Hmm.
like that.
Making the bed, I don't know, some other stuff, whatever. Whatever, there's always the little things that add up, I guess, to show that you care about the other person. Yeah. What about for you? What does that look like?
I don't know. I'm not intimate with anyone or anything.
Are you intimate with yourself?
No.
Girl,
Now
I treat myself.
I think it's the same. I think uh, I guess yeah. Just I feel like intimacy without having sex. I feel like I do that all the time. I think I have really good like friendships and relationship. I think that's something that I did today that I try to do for you is that I know you like
Yes.
coffee. Like I brought you
Yeah.
coffee. You didn't ask me, you didn't call me, but I know that like you probably have to work all day. It's like halfway through your day. You might be tired. You're
Yeah.
my friend. I love you. I want you to like succeed for the rest of the day.
That's a really good point that intimacy doesn't have to be with somebody that you're sexually
Involved with.
involved with. Yeah, it could
Or in
be.
like a marriage or live in or boyfriend girlfriend
Uh
type of
huh.
relationship or
Yeah.
partner. Like it could be with friends. It could be with my roommate. Little things. He's amazing. He definitely does stuff that like he knows when I'm stressed out or whatever. He'll
Yeah.
text me. He'd be like, "Hey, I feel like you've had a long day. I'm making dinner. Do you want me to make you some too?" Like
Aw.
that's like intimate and that's nice. That's like
Yeah.
very amazing.
I think that's something too that you would see in male relationships that intimacy can be construed as sexual innuendo, or this person's hitting on
Hmm.
me, or they're making a move or something like that. But really, it's building on your friendship. It's showing that you love and care for the other person. I think that's something that we don't really talk about, especially as men, as a living in a heteronormative world that's masculine ideology of like how you're supposed to be, and leaving yourself open and vulnerable to have those conversations and to share and tell the other person that you love them.
Yeah,
It doesn't have to be in a sexual way.
it doesn't. Or a
Yeah.
physical way.
Or a physical way. It can be, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like it too. Even in like intimate, like physical relationships or like that kind of love relationships, like I think that means more to me than I mean everybody loves a good blowjob or getting their asshole eaten, but like I love it too. Like after a long day, like you're like I come home and like the laundry's done and like you've helped out like check off some of the lists because I'm a
Yeah.
list maker, and regardless of like I make a list for all of my personal things, but also all of my professional things. And like day by day, I go by and I try to cut them down. And sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, being American, my work takes priority sometimes over like my personal life, like cleaning the
Yeah.
bathroom or doing laundry or
Mm-hmm.
cooking myself something healthy. And so like in that kind of relationship, when I come home to something like that, like it makes me feel like oh, this person cares about me.
Yeah. So what are some things that you do for yourself?
Lots of things, I think. Uh, I try to make time. Like today, I'm going to go to the pool. I made sure that I did it. A lot of things with me, like doing things for myself. I've found that it's a lot easier for me to like if I have like accountability.
Mm-hmm.
So yesterday, I talked to
Ooh.
a friend because
Yeah.
I was like, I need to go to the pool. I've been like twice all summer. I have an amazing pool at my house. Blah blah
Yeah.
blah. But yesterday, I asked one of my friends, "Hey, do you want to go to the pool?" Knowing that they did, so it keeps me accountable. So no matter what, my friend's like, "Girl, I thought we were going to the pool." I'm like, "Oh, you're right." Everything
Yeah.
else needs to take a back burner. I go get massages on the regular. I go to Spa and Pen. I go to this amazing person named Tyler Parsons. If you guys get an opportunity, number one, Spa and Pen is queer owned. It's right in Westport. The guy that I go to is also LGBT, and he's amazing. He's probably one of the best massage therapists I've ever been to.
Wow.
And I went to massage therapy school. I was a massage therapist for about 7 years. He's just incredible. Other than that, taking myself shopping, making sure that I get pedicures, manicures, just something like little. You know, sometimes as much as even going and literally down to Waterworks on State Line on by Ward Parkway Mall and like, you know, getting my car all cleaned up and vacuumed out, like just little things make me feel better.
Nice. For you guys who are watching, feel free to comment and ask questions. We're totally open with answering things today.
Yay.
And like share what you do to be intimate with yourself. What do you show? How do you show yourself love and that you care for yourself? Like feel free to share that information and to tell us so that we can share it with everyone else as well.
Yeah.
I think like things that I do that are fun for me is I leave myself like calendar things, so I'll plan it like months in advance, and I'll just have an alert that pops up that is like, hey, you know, in the description, I read the description, and sometimes, you know, it's like today's your day to pick a random friend and go to dinner, you know, and things like that. We're like, you know, I'm not the best at following up with people or keeping in touch or making those phone calls or returning phone calls or, you know, I'll see a text and 2 weeks later be like, oh yeah, I was supposed to reply to that. I'm really sorry. So I am totally that guy. So I make those little calendar things in there to keep me accountable, I guess, in that sense of like trying to stay connected with people. And I'm not the best at it, but yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I try.
I think it's important. It keeps you accountable as well.
Yeah, and sometimes there are random things where it's like, hey, go buy yourself something you like, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so glad I empowered myself to do that.
There's so many things I like.
I'm like, oh,
maybe I'll buy two.
That does happen. So we did the relationship one, right? So do you want to do a 1, 2, or 3 in our race cards?
3. Let's do a menage a 3.
Say, ask, assess. Ooh.
Just pick one that's really good.
Are there any important life events that you've experienced that have affected or are currently affecting your health?
Oh, of course. So many life events. My birthday was my birthday was yesterday.
Yeah.
This past weekend was my birthday weekend, and I got
Happy
super.
birthday.
Thank you so much. I got super, super drunk and dehydrated the got on myself. So I've been kind of recuperating. Also, my dad passed away in February. It was like a pretty big. It was a pretty big deal. It still is. It's wild.
Yeah.
I'm still working through it. It's I feel really good for a few weeks, and then there's something that happens or triggers it, and like I'm in like my feels for a few days and thinking about it, and yeah, I think it's impacted my health. It's impacted my sleep. It's impacted my relationships. It's impacted, you know, a lot of things. But I mean, you know, that's kind of what trauma does sometimes, and that's kind of what life does.
Knowing that, what are some things that you're doing to help yourself deal with that grief and loss?
I think a lot of self-care. I think a lot, for me, it's just definitely been listening to myself, listening to, like, you know, the things around me. I feel like I'm a very internal person. I seem very extroverted at times, but I think that most of myself is very introverted and very, like, I'm very intuitive, and I tend to kind of listen to my friends, but more so I listen to, like, myself and, like, what, like, my thought process is, and I try to tune everything out. I don't know, I've just kind of grown up so independent with, you know, my dad and me that I'm very, like, my dad has always been like, you know, you have all the answers inside of you, and you know all the things inside of you inherently. You just need to quiet everything, quiet yourself, and listen to those things.
That's really powerful. I mean, it's taking a lesson from, you know, somebody that you've lost and sort of like keeping that memory of them alive as well. It's like living that.
Yeah, you know, there's many times, you know, I got a massage yesterday, but I got one a couple weeks ago with a friend for his birthday. And my massage therapist, like, that was the first time, like, that I ever, like, I had a moment where I cried a little bit. And afterwards, like, I had, like, kind of an emotional breakdown for a couple of hours where I just, like, cried, and I was, like, processing a lot of things. And very much a person that I don't compare myself to other people. I don't compare myself to, like, anything else. I'm just like, I'm my own person. I am who I am. Everybody's inherently different, and that's what I love about everybody that I know and
Yeah.
listen to people I think are amazing. But I feel like the past few months I've very much been comparing myself to my father and all the things that he was and did, and I need to quit doing that and just live my life the way that I want to live it and the way that I think I should live it, whether it's right or wrong. It's my mistakes to make, my successes to make.
Yeah, I would say, like, in that moment, like when you were saying your emotional breakdown that you had, I was thinking it was more like an emotional breakthrough, not a breakdown.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
I think that's just how you view it, Like, I guess
Yeah.
I would view it that way too. I mean, like, also, I think in the past few months I've been, like, more vulnerable, like, not just with myself, but with the people around me. I think I've really tried to humanize myself more than I ever have, and I don't know if it's really much just tried or just kind of organically happened, or maybe this is just the time right now. Like, I know, like, last night at dinner, like, it was really hard for me because COVID happening. You can't invite every 400 people to a birthday dinner.
Yeah.
So it was really, really, really difficult for me to try to figure out like which 9 people that I can invite to my dinner. But then even sitting there, I was like thinking about all of you sitting there and how much I really care about you. And there's a few people that should have been there, but I just didn't have enough room. But thinking of how all of you have impacted my life, not only in this past year, but even in the past 6 months with everything that's happened with me, and how like, I don't like to say the word blessed because I'm not religious like that, but very, I guess, lucky to have people in my life that have not only been there for that part of my journey, but also helped me like foster and nurture the person that I'm becoming and that I want to be. And I feel very empowered, surrounded by all of you, but also, it makes me think about all the people that don't have people like that.
Yeah. I think one of the things that I've seen you do over the last year is tear down walls, maybe, or barriers to how you were presenting yourself to others and how you were accepting others into your life. So maybe instead of like humanizing yourself, maybe you are just removing those masks, those barriers, and sort of just letting yourself be you and letting other people experience that with you. That's pretty powerful in itself.
Yeah, feels good.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
So we have Tony on here, and I'll come back to answer that question as well. But I want to address what Tony asked, which is, how can we be more social with our friends who are at different levels of risk during COVID? My answer to that would be, meet your friends where they are. So that may mean you do a Zoom dinner, or you FaceTime, having dinner together, at separate places, obviously. Or maybe you play a board game, or, whatever, you play videos together or something, whatever you're interested in, you do a watch party with each other and you watch a TV show together. Those all, I know, it's crazy. Maybe share porn, I don't know. I don't know what your friends are like. But I think meeting them where they're at is really important, because depending on their levels of risk and what they feel comfortable exposing themselves to, don't judge somebody for that, because they're trying to protect themselves and protect others as well. So it's really important to appreciate that and support that, because you would want someone to do that for you as well. Yeah.
I think that's good. I think, I have had some friends, and I've tried to, because I have friends in other states that are, super isolating themselves because of COVID. Send them gifts. I've sent them fun masks. I've had local friends from KC, make masks. So I've purchased them to send, so they can have a little bit of, our city, but also with theirs. And I'm big proponent too. I'm old school. I remember back in the day when there was no cell phones, and we used to have one house phone and that long ass cord. So let's, sometimes I just call my friends and we just chat for a couple hours about whatever.
Do a party line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Party line.
Oh my God! Take it back.
Oh, right, for sure.
That sounds fun. So I want to answer the question. So, are there any important life events that you've experienced that have affected or are currently affecting your health? Yeah, there's quite a few. I would say for me, the first thing that comes to mind is contracting HIV, and so being a person living with HIV, what that looks like, and sharing that, and being able to talk about that, and being that person who sort of reduces that stigma, for others, and makes it, normalizes that conversation, can help educate over it, and, can, above else, just be somebody that someone can come to and ask questions. Because that's the most important part for me is it helps me be comfortable with my diagnosis, but it also helps others be comfortable with theirs as well. Yeah.
I love that.
Me too.
I love, normalizing things that should be normalized and not stigmatized or feared.
Yeah.
I think we had this conversation yesterday, like, about what we wanted to talk about
Right,
today,
yeah.
and like we like brought it to the table, and it's weird because like all of our friends are friends and they're fun, but like, there were a few people at our table that were uncomfortable with us
Right.
talking about it. They were uncomfortable with us saying it like in a public setting where there are other tables around. But then there are other friends that were there that were just like, "Oh my god, let me get into this conversation!
Right.
Like I love this."
Show me pictures. I want to see.
But I mean, yeah, I love the fact that like, yeah, I want to try to normalize more things that are generally stigmatized or kind of looked down on our past. And
Yeah, I think it's really important to do that because not everybody feels empowered to that, to do it, and to share information or to feel comfortable that they can share that, even with their friends. So I think taking that leap and just putting it out there, putting yourself out there. What Brene Brown says, the first step in being courageous is being vulnerable. Like you have to leave yourself open, whether it be negative or positive, on that response. And so that's courage, so be courageous and let yourself out there. Yeah, painting your nails pink, as a hyper masculine individual, and then as a male identified, and then pink nails. Yeah.
So I mean, I was stomping around in heels all weekend.
Were you really?
I was. It was wild. Also,
where are the videos for that?
I don't. Also, I mean, speaking of courage, I mean, this morning I was feeling some type of way or whatever, but as soon as I like woke up or whatever, I'm like looking, scrolling through Facebook and stuff, and obviously like I laid in bed all day Monday because I got really, really intoxicated all weekend and I didn't really do anything. So I watched Michelle Obama.
Yeah,
this morning,
that's such a good
and
speech.
I shared it on my page. It was like 28 minutes of incredible.
Yeah.
Like it made me cry a little bit. Like I don't know, it was great. It was empowering. She's always somebody that I've admired immensely. I've read her book. I watched her show. I watched her special.
I have not watched her special. What like my takeaway from what she was saying was that she was being authentic. She was being as real as someone who is not at the forefront of political life, but has definitely been involved in political life, be it through her husband and maybe volunteering that she's done on her side and stuff like that. I think when you toe that line, just as I do with work and what we talk about here. So that's a hard space to be in, and to share that information and to be as upfront as she can be, and as real as she can be in such a public forum. I thought that it was really powerful for her to share that message and to sort of encourage everybody to, demand more from your leaders, expect more from your leaders, hold them to a higher standard. And, that's something that we really have lost, and I think with the current leadership that we have for our country, it really highlights, the need to hold them to a higher standard and to expect more from those who run for office and are in power.
Yeah, I think a really big takeaway that I took from that is how authentic she was, how confrontational she was, but she was not accusatory. No. She was not canceling anyone. She was simply stating like facts, and she definitely like there was just so much, even like compassion in her whole entire speech that I feel like our country. I don't know about our country. I guess I can't speak for that, but for me, I feel like that's something that I needed to hear. That's something that I needed to be able to feel, especially from somebody on such a level where I admire, that I esteem, that I could tell for that she's really working towards helping Americans.
Yeah. I will say, I thought about this, when you mentioned that you cried, a few times during her speech. I thought about this while I was watching it, like during the Democratic debate and over the last 3 to 4 months, I've been a razor's edge on emotions. And as Chris would say, I am dangling by a thin line, and it could snap at any moment. But I've taken the last week. I mean, it's not recent at all. I've taken the last week to really lean back into self-care, meditation, and mindfulness, and the things that I started years ago, which I've let taper off with everything that's going on, when really I needed those things to help balance and center myself. And when I was watching that, I think weeks before, I would have been a crying, bawling mess. listening to her speech or listening to all the people that spoke. But instead, I was more measured, more in control, and could think through the emotions and what she was saying and really hear the message, as opposed to being on that razor's edge and like slicing myself open and laying myself bare. So yeah, I was proud of myself that I didn't bawl through her speech, because it wasn't. If anything, they would be tears of joy, and there's no reason to. I didn't feel like there was a need for me to express it at that moment in that time. So yeah.
I definitely think that mine were tears of joy. It definitely gave me a little bit of fire and stuff. I knew that in the past few months, you and myself and a few other community leaders have been working towards some transparency and things, and I know it's been really rough, and I know that as people that are community leaders and have stepped into that position, or people that have happenstance into that position, I feel like over the past few years I didn't become the GM of this place to be a community leader. Just over time that transition has happened, and it's great and it's empowering, and I feel very like privileged and blessed to have like this kind of opportunity and position, but also like it's very difficult. It's very difficult not to have a whole set of mentors to help you. It's very difficult to go through things and not have all the answers and not have any resources to really find that. And I think that that speech that she said really like empowered me to feel brave and to feel strong and to move forward, but also like it really opened my eyes to the friends that I do have that are community leaders, the friends that I do have that are moving forward for progression, and it really this morning made me realize today, like with our show, like I'm so excited to like be here with you all the time. Also, you're one of my closest friends, and I think that you're amazing, but I think there was a time, like a week or two ago, where you leaned on me and another person in like a chat thing or whatever, and we told you like we have your back, we support you, and I think it's more important now that we hold each other up and not just, and I don't know, just that speech from Michelle just really made me feel like what we're doing, we're not alone. And as much as sometimes you think as a leader, as the head of a household or a boss or something, that you feel alone, that you're not alone. And especially as Americans, we need to band together right now and support each other and love each other, especially in a time of crisis.
I agree, especially in our own community. There can be infighting, and you feel like people are backstabbing you, and it's important to know that there are other people that you can turn to, and sharing that you're in need is part of being of displaying courage. It's part of leadership. It's part of sharing with other people in a way that you didn't think was possible.
Vulnerability.
And, vulnerability is powerful in itself, and I am, but definitely not a person that does that normally. And so, it meant a lot for me to share that and to get support and feedback back, because usually I am a very self-driven, and Chris gets the brunt of what I'm thinking and feeling, like unfiltered, and sometimes it feels like a personal attack on him, and I promise it's not. Sometimes I'm saying you, but it's not you. Like I did that last time. I was like, I'm not talking about you. I'm sorry. I was talking about Trump, but I said you. I'm sorry. Do we have any other questions? Tony, thank you for your question. I don't have any input on my feed.
Well, I don't either. What is when does summer end?
Never.
What's it officially end?
Isn't it after? Is it Labor Day? Is Labor Day the last one?
So we still have a little bit of hot girl summer left.
Oh yeah, totally.
Are you planning on doing anything fun, exciting?
This weekend I'm going to Eureka Springs with a group of friends, so that should be a lot of fun.
You're going rafting, right?
I don't know about that, or I don't think I'm doing that either.
Oh, you're just. Oh, okay.
I'm taking some books to read.
Oh, are you gonna go to the nude resort? Wait.
Oh no! Oh yeah, I should totally go to the nude resort. I forgot all about that. Yeah, Magnetic Valley. If you've never been, super fun, campy. Love those guys. Hi, Larry.
Hi, Larry.
Yeah, that's where I posted a picture of that like a couple years from. I think almost 10 years ago.
Wait, didn't you get married there?
We got married in Eureka Springs, yeah. But
Oh.
I used to DJ these parties because they have 4 prides in Eureka Springs. They're incredible down there. And they used to have a summer party that I would go and DJ in the nudes. That was always a lot of fun. Yeah.
Oh.
It was a lot of skin. Yeah.
I love it. That's
All
exciting.
right. Because we oh wait, we have a one more political correctness. When does it cross a line? I think it crosses a line if it if you're not able to speak to someone's power or speak to someone's growth, if you're using political correctness to limit someone, to diminish someone, then that's where political correctness isn't being served appropriately. It's not, supportive of both parties. Political correctness should support everybody and should provide a space to share in a manner that doesn't infringe on someone's rights or who they are. That's my belief on it.
Word.
I mean, I've thought about that a lot. I like political correctness. I think it serves its purpose, but it should not limit your speech. You should be able to articulate yourself in a manner that lifts others up without diminishing who they are. And sometimes that may be in political correctness, and sometimes it may not be. But I think there's always an opportunity to grow from that experience. Yeah.
That's exciting.
It is. Mm-hmm. All right, guys. I have a call that I have to be on. I know it's almost time. But we will be back next week.
Same that time, same that channel.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Please tune in, share. Make sure you follow on Unboxed, follow on Woody's if you haven't followed either page before. Please share those pages if you are a follower and you like them. Help get our message out. Let others know what's going on. We have these gloves here because we thought we would have some time to get into some boys and toys, but we don't, so we can definitely touch on that topic next week.
We're going to talk about sex toys next week, so if you have questions or comments, please leave them in the little feed below, and we'll talk about those.
Yeah, we can definitely answer them for sure, because it's always fun. And we want to reduce those stigmas. Yeah, I've got
lube, sex toys, how to clean them, proper care, proper maintenance.
I've got a few options for us to mess around with. So
I'm super excited. Also, I just want to tell everybody thank you so much for all the birthday wishes. You've been amazing. And great, I appreciate it. I'm still accepting gifts all through the month of August. Nobody sent me an edible arrangement this year. That was crazy.
They probably think you're getting a ton of them.
Probably, yeah. Sunflowers are my favorite flowers. Also, just to let you know, you can send to 3740 Broadway at Woody's, KC. Also, if you want to be a guest on our show, right below, message us.
Definitely.
Let us, any topics that
we
want to talk about.
We can find ways to bring you on board.
I'm here for it.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank y'all.
Thanks. Bye.